Hi, yes, I told you I was back in the groove, so welcome to my new UAsk, IAnswer question. Um, what I'm doing is I'm kind of continuing on the theme of my PMI Chapter project management versus change management sessions. And this one comes from, not one, two actually. These questions, come from a gig I did for the Singapore chapter some while ago now. And there were two questions, as I said. They were asked by Kevin Chua, who is a senior project engineer working for the regional provider of telecommunication network engineering services. Hi, Kevin. How you doing? One question was, how would change management work in an agile environment, since Scrum Masters also focus very much on the people side of the project? Okay. The other question was, what are the stages of a typical change life cycle? Interesting. Now I'm going to try and be a very clever ass and answer both questions at the same time. Let's see if it works, shall we? I hope so. I think it will. Well, we'll give it a go anyway. So first of all, regarding the Scrum question, I'm going to be straight with you, because I don't mind admitting that my knowledge of Agile and Scrum is not as comprehensive as it might be. So guess what? I had to do a bit of Googling, as you do when you don't know anything. The first thing I'll focus on is this part of the question, which went, Scrum Masters also focus very much on the people side of the project. So what better place to start than looking through scrum.org website, where I found a 2017 article called The Scrum Master as the Change Leader. Oh, that's quite an inviting title, isn't it? In which it says, the Scrum Master can enable change from the inside out. Inside out. Okay. Being part of a Scrum team, the Scrum Master knows precisely what needs to be changed, and more importantly, why change is necessary. Okay, cool. The Scrum Master can facilitate conversations and collaboration with other Scrum teams. Fine. Together with other Scrum Masters, they can ignite the necessary organisational changes by influencing the system from the inside out. Yeah, I'm kind of getting my head around that. So, from the perspective of the Scrum team, the Scrum Master is the change leader. Right. Okay. Furthermore, it actually says, encourage the Scrum Master to talk to different departments that need to be changed in order to succeed with Scrum. As an example, the Scrum Master, you should collaborate with people from HR, finance, operations, sales, you name it, name the department, that's what they should do, that's who they should collaborate with. The Scrum Master really knows what's going on in their Scrum team. I would hope so. The Scrum Master should therefore show leadership and influence the organisational system from the perspective of the Scrum team. I'll have to think about that one. Yeah. Anyway, digging a little bit deeper into the Scrum Guide on the scrum.org website, it says the Scrum Master serves the organisation in several ways, including 1, leading, training and coaching the organisation in its Scrum adoption. 2, planning and advising Scrum implementations within the organisation. 3, helping employees and stakeholders understand and enact an empirical approach for complex work. And finally, 4, removing barriers between stakeholders and Scrum teams. Interesting. But whilst it seems that Scrum Masters also deal with the people side of the project, I'm not really being convinced that a Scrum Master can deliver organisational change in its entirety and in the true sense of the word. Let's take a typical change management life cycle. Here we go. This is the second part of the question. I told you I'd combine the two. There are many life cycles which can be described by the steps in some of the change methodologies that are out there. But let me focus on 3, as I do in my training session. For example, Kotter's 8 steps. He starts with step 1, create urgency. This is his new one, by the way. Step 2, form a powerful coalition. Step 3, create a vision for the change. Step 4, communicate the vision. Step 5, remove obstacles, which we talked about a minute ago. Step 6, create short-term wins. Step 7, build on the change. And finally, step 8, anchor the change in the corporate culture. Interesting. Okay, ProSci has 3 phases. They have phase 1, which is prepare for the change, phase 2, which is manage the change, and phase 3, which is reinforce the change. Nice and simple. And there's a third one. it's my own, but I had to do it, didn't I? The practical framework approach to change. And it goes something like this. There are 3 foundations to my practical framework approach to change. They are sponsorship engagement, stakeholder management, and communication. Now, those are the 3 things that I consider are fundamentally important to ensure a successful outcome. These are the things that you need to build as a foundation, a solid base on which to start your building blocks of change. And the building blocks of change are process change, logically followed by organizational change, impact analysis, business readiness measurement, training management, usage and adoption measurement, business benefits management, and finally, once everything's been delivered, continuous improvement. So in effect, as I said, those methodologies kind of follow a typical change life cycle, although slightly different, some more complex than others. So going back to what I said before, I can't actually see a Scrum Master taking on those kind of additional responsibilities as well as their own. What I do see, though, is that change managers can be effective members of the Scrum team and fit their responsibilities into the relevant sprints, working hand in hand with a Scrum Master, just like a project manager and change manager should be doing. Just as a matter of interest, in 2017, I actually wrote an article called Agile OCM, Game Changer, or Just Another Methodology, in which I said, and I quote, if you look up Agile in the word thesaurus, and I use that a lot, it comes up with, amongst others, adjectives such as nimble, responsive, and swift. So, for me and my simple brain, yes, I do have a brain, but it's a simple one. So for me, as I said, so long as you use these as your guiding principles within the context of OCM in an agile environment, then you cannot go wrong. That's my view. Any thoughts? I'd be glad to hear them if you want to. So thank you again. Thank you, Kevin, for those questions. Ciao. I'll see you again soon.